A credit card in your wallet that holds Bitcoin. No batteries, no charging cables, just tap the card to your phone and sign a transaction in seconds. This Ellipal X Card promises the ultimate in portable crypto security with military-grade encryption. And Ellipal claims it's fully air-gapped. But after spending some time testing this device that they sent me for review, I found some things that concern me. If you're thinking about getting one of these, you're going to want to hear this first. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sovereign Money. If you're new here, I make videos about Bitcoin, not exclusively, but about Bitcoin, self-sovereignty, and security. I also review hardware wallets because how can you have self-sovereignty without a hardware wallet? I have one goal, and that is to help you make an informed decision about how you secure your digital assets. And today's device, the Ellipal X Card, is really interesting because it solves a real problem. Traditional hardware wallets are bulky, they need charging, and let's be honest, they're not exactly convenient for everyday use. You're not going to be at the coffee shop and pull out your Trezor. The Ellipal X Card tries a different approach. It's literally the size of a credit card. Well, actually, it is a credit card. It fits right in your wallet, and it works through NFC communication like any other contactless payment card. And Ellipal claims that this device is fully air-gapped, which, if true, would put it in crypto security gold standard territory. On paper, this sounds perfect for anyone who wants security without the hassle. I want to be honest up front, Ellipal sent me a 3-card set of their X Card device, which retails for $134 for free in exchange for an honest review. But as always, my opinion can't be bought. So I'm going to test this thoroughly and give you my honest assessment on today's video. So let's answer one simple question. Is this the future of crypto wallets, or is there something we're missing? Let's start with what this thing actually is, then I'll show you the setup process before we send a real Bitcoin transaction. And by the end of this video, you'll know whether the Ellipal X Card deserves a spot in your pocket. If that sounds good, let's get to it. Here that we have the packaging for the Ellipal X Card, and I have a 3-card set. That is, there's one in the box, and there are 2 cards in here. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? That's pretty neat packaging. Put that aside. And if we open the box here, pretty simple. We've got the Ellipal X Card, and I have replaced the one with the branding on it with one with no branding, which is sort of a stealth mode card. I prefer that design better. And you can see there's not much to it. There's a serial number on the back, and that's it. No logos, no Wi-Fi logo, nothing. Let's put that aside, and this is exactly the same size as a credit card or any other payment type card. Same thing. We'll put that over there next to my pile of Tangent cards. And we've got underneath there, we've got an NFC protection sleeve to block any NFC reading of the card without your knowledge. Very good. A seed phrase sheet for you to record your seed phrase, what's in the box, and then a quick start guide. That's it. USB-C to A. If I get another one of these cables, I think I'm going to lose my mind. And what is this thing? This is called the starter, and it's the battery-powered device that's used to write your seed phrase into the cards itself. And that's it. It has a screen on here, but it is not used for anything else other than writing a seed phrase onto the card, unfortunately. USB-C port to charge it, and a slot for the card, which fits right in the top, like that. And that's it. That's all that's in the box. Pretty straightforward. Each Ellipal X Card has an EAL6+ certified secure element chip inside. For context, that's the same security certification used in passports and government IDs. Your private keys are electronically locked inside this chip, completely isolated from your phone or computer. That's the air gap promise, that your keys never touch an internet-connected device. Setting the X Card up is pretty straightforward. You take the starter device, you insert the X Card into the slot on the top of the device, and you generate your seed phrase with the starter device completely offline. You can choose between 12 and 24 words for your seed phrase, and the device generates everything internally. There's no connection to your phone, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth. pure offline key generation. This part actually impressed me. Let's go ahead and take a look at this process up close. To fire this little starter device up, you press and hold the red button to power it on. There's the startup screen, and there's not a lot of options on the menu. You've got Create Wallet, Recover Wallet, and an Options menu. Let's go ahead and press OK. And in the Options menu, you have the option to turn passphrase support on or off. I like it. Or About, and that's it. So you can turn that on or off. When you create a wallet, you'll have to set a passphrase. Please ensure you fully understand it. Otherwise, you may lose assets that cannot be recovered, etc. Let's go back. I'm going to restart the device. I couldn't get out of that menu for some reason. All right. So we've got Create Wallet and Recover Wallet. Recover Wallet is simply when you enter a seed phrase manually into the device, and then it gets sent over to your card, written on your card. Or you let the wallet create a seed phrase for you. Let's go ahead and look at that process. Create a wallet. Whoops. There we go. Keep the card inserted until done. Set a 6 to 16 digit card PIN. I like it. 6 to 16 digits. So the minimum size is 6, maximum is 16. That's pretty good security. Well done, Ellipal, on that front. So let's go ahead and set a PIN. We're going to use, oh, by the way, this selector button on the left, if you press and hold, does not go more than 1 digit. And I really don't like that, particularly if you enter a seed phrase by hand. Pressing and holding should scroll through the alphabet rather than having to press the button every single time you want to move a single digit or letter. It is painful entering a seed phrase. Back to our PIN. Let's go ahead and set a PIN. We're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've done this before, and it may have yelled at me for not using a secure PIN. And confirm your PIN. No, that wasn't this device. 1. So you confirm the PIN. 2, 3. There you go. So it's telling me that there's a wallet already on this card. Do you want to reset it and overwrite the seed phrase that's on the card? I'm going to say yes. Make sure your seed phrase is backed up. I'm going to say next. Or your assets will be lost. Continue to reset. Yes. Creating the wallet. And it's going to give us our seed phrase words so we can write them down. Whew, that took a while. Press OK. Do I need a duplicate card? No. So I'm going to press the back button. Now back up your seed phrase, and it's going to go through the words. This is the only chance we'll have to back up our seed phrase. Make sure it's stored securely and offline. So we're shown 6 of the words, 6 more, and we're done. And now we have to confirm. And I didn't look at them, so I have to go back. Whoops. And I'm actually going to write these down. Okay, I've written them down. I'm going to press OK. Confirm your seed phrase with word number 4, which is not ill, it's can. Word 8, also. Word 10, and that's it. So we confirmed 3 of the 12. I prefer going through the entire seed phrase again, but they decided to just pick 3 random words. I'm assuming it's more if you have a 24-word seed phrase. You can now remove the X card, and you've created 1 card. And now we can connect to the Ellipal application on our phone. All right, let's go ahead and do that. After you create your seed phrase, make sure you have it recorded on paper, and you're done, at least as far as setting up the card. The whole process takes about 3 to 5 minutes, and there's no technical knowledge required. And here's an important bit about the starter device. Once setup is complete, it's essentially a paperweight. You don't use it to confirm transactions. It's only for initial wallet creation or recovering an existing wallet using a seed phrase that you already have. From now on, your transactions happen directly between the app on your phone and the Ellipal card via NFC communications. There's no starter involved in the transaction process at all. No additional screens, just your phone and the card. The next step is to download the Ellipal app from your respective app store and sync your new wallet with the application on your phone. Let's go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how it's done. Here we are at the screen of my iPhone. You can see the Ellipal application right in the middle of the screen, right here. I don't have the ability to draw on the screen while I'm mirroring, so hopefully you can see the mouse, but there it is in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and launch that. Ellipal would like to send you notifications. Sure, why not? And then we have a little slideshow. Asset management. Manage over 10,000 different coins and tokens. Buy, swap, and grow your assets. And there's live marketplaces available. Go ahead and press the start button. Accept the terms and conditions. Many of you may be aware of a YouTube video about a guy from, I believe, North Carolina who lost approximately $3 million in XRP. Heartbreaking. He was using the Ellipal cold wallet. He was using it properly, and I don't know if he was using this X card or one of their other wallets. I think it was a different wallet. But on their application, they used to have cold wallet, hot wallet. And maybe, I don't know what it looked like, but he got confused and he entered his seed phrase into his phone and somehow, or into his iPad actually, and somehow that got compromised and he lost $3 million of XRP and his entire retirement, and he just retired. So it's devastating. Please be careful with your seed phrase because you don't know if your device is compromised. I reset my phone. I reset my computer about every 6 months or so. When I say reset, I mean I wipe the hard drive and I start over with the operating system from scratch. And yes, it's a pain in the butt, but it's actually kind of nice to clear everything out and start fresh. That's how I stay safe. And obviously he wasn't super safe with his iPad usage, I guess. I'm not sure. Anyway, he was using this wallet and it used to have an option to create a hot wallet. But now all they have is a cold wallet option. So we're going to press that blue button and we're given their options, Tightened 2.0 or the Mini, which are their other cold wallets, or the X card. I'm going to click that X card and it says connect your card. I have the X card right here. Enter your card PIN. I'm going to enter the PIN, press submit, and then you hold the card to the back of your phone, and that's it. Theoretically, my wallet from my card is now restored into the application and they are synced up. I do not want support for Ethereum or any of these coins and tokens. And I'm just going to leave it with Bitcoin and press complete. Good. Connection successful. Here you can manage and view the wallet accounts you've added. Confirm. No feedback yet. Oh, this wallet comes with $22 of Bitcoin in it. It used to be a bit more than that, but Bitcoin is not behaving like a good Bitcoin. So it's less. Let's go through the application a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy here. You can see along the top, there's a row of icons for sending, receiving, swapping, buying, and selling. I don't like to buy and sell inside these applications. The fees tend to be very high and the spreads tend to be very large as well. But that's just me. It is very convenient. If we go into the top left corner and press the little wallet icon, we get sort of a closer view of our holdings. It is $22.52 and it says cold wallet. And if you look in the upper right corner, there's a little pie with a slice out of it. This is pretty cool. It shows the coins, 100% Bitcoin, and the assets, 100% on the card. Okay, what else can we do here? Let's go back to that little window. What is this hamburger menu? We can sort the different assets that we have in our wallet. And if we go ahead and click the Bitcoin itself, it says we can switch different addresses here. Confirm, and we've got options for native SegWit, nested SegWit, legacy. I feel like something's missing there. I'll get to that later. And on the bottom, again, it says send, receive, swap, buy, and sell. So those middle of the screen buttons have been moved to the bottom. And if I click the asset, I get a list of transactions here that we could go through. And that is about it there. On the bottom, we have market, where we have we can track the performance of our favorites. I don't want to look at that. Then we have a swap market where we can buy, sell, stake, and swap. We can discover some decentralized applications and then more settings for the application, including dark mode, which I wish you didn't leave when you change the mode, but that's what you do. screen lock, address book, and some other settings in there. All right, let's do what you're all here for, and that is to send some Bitcoin out of this wallet and see how the transaction works. In order to do that, we need an address. I'm going to grab one. I'll be right back. I have an address in the clipboard. I'm going to press the send button. I'm going to select the asset here. Now, if you had a lot of different assets, you could search for it, or scroll, but I only have one, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to enter the receiving address here. Allow paste. There we go. Not sure what's happening at the top of my keyboard there, but whatever. Okay, so we've got the max. I'm going to hit a max button here. Bad parameters. Okay, let's try that again. I'm wondering if it's not able to send to a Taproot address. Please tell me you can send to a Taproot address. I'm just going to pick a random number here. That seems to be good. I think the problem was my network fee and pressing the max button. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out the fees. You can set your own fee, which is kind of neat. I'm going to leave that at 3. Actually, I'm going to check the fees and see what they're like. The fees right now are at 2 sats per VByte. If you see in the middle of the page there, high priority is 2 sats per VByte. Let's go back to the Ellipal app and set our fee manually to 2.0 sats. Confirm. And I'm going to send $12.23. Bad parameters. All right. I'm thinking it's not able to send to a Taproot address. I'm going to try to copy a regular native SegWit address, which begins with the letters BC1Q rather than BC1P. And I will be right back and we'll try that again. I have an address in the clipboard, BC1Q, and I'm going to press max. Boy, this is challenging. All right, hopefully this will work. Looks good, looks good, looks good, and press submit and see if we are able to sign the transaction. Here's the transaction details according to the wallet. Now, there's no screen on this, and there's no other way to confirm the details of this transaction. So you just have to say, I trust you, bro. Get the X card ready, enter the PIN. I don't know if you noticed, but the numbers on the keyboard are scrambled. I like that actually as a security feature. I'm going to press submit, scan, and transaction submitted. Pretty easy. Press complete, refresh the page, and I'm sure it will go to 0 here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and look at our transaction list. And there we have it in progress right here. There are the details of the transaction. And once that gets confirmed, I think it will go to 0. The balance will go to 0. Functionally, this really works. It's incredibly fast and super convenient. No cables, no complex pairing, just tap and sign. From a user experience standpoint, it's pretty slick. But here's what bothered me during this entire process. At no point during that transaction did I verify any details of the transaction on a secure device. The card has no screen. The starter device isn't involved in the transaction at all. That's only used for initial wallet creation and recovery. I saw the receiving address and the amount in the application on my phone. I entered the PIN and I tapped the card to sign. That's it. I had to trust entirely what my phone showed me. This activity is called blind signing, and it's one of the most criticized security vulnerabilities in crypto wallets. Think about it this way. If malware infected your phone or iPad and altered the application's display, you could think you're sending 0.0011 Bitcoin to your friend, but you might actually be sending your entire balance of Bitcoin to the hacker's address, and you'd sign it because you trusted what you saw on your phone's screen. The card would have no idea. It just sees a transaction request and signs it after you enter your PIN. Traditional hardware wallets solve this problem by having a screen. When you approve a transaction on a Ledger, Trezor, Cold Card, Blockstream Jade, you physically see the amount and the address on the device's screen, which is isolated from your potentially compromised computer or phone. That's called transaction verification, and it's considered essential for serious security. The Ellipal X Card, along with many other card-based wallets, can't do this. No screen means no verification. And yes, the application itself is likely well designed and very secure, But the principle of hardware wallet security is defense in depth. You shouldn't have to trust any single point of failure. This is the exact same blind signing issue that Tangem and Arculus cards also have. And it's been a major point of criticism for all card-style hardware wallets. But the security concerns don't stop there. I dug deeper into how this wallet handles Bitcoin transactions, and I found another issue that affects your privacy. Every time I go into the application and press the Receive button for Bitcoin, the application shows me the same address. It doesn't automatically or even have the ability to generate a new address for each subsequent transaction. I've received multiple payments to this wallet, and it keeps giving me the identical address every single time. And I couldn't find any way to manually generate a new address either. It just reuses the same address over and over and over. This is a major privacy concern. As you know, Bitcoin's blockchain is completely public. When you reuse addresses, anyone can look that address up on a blockchain explorer and see your entire transaction history, every payment you've ever received on that address, your total balance, and where you've sent any of the funds, and the balances on those addresses. The best practice in Bitcoin transactions is address rotation, generating a new address for every single received transaction. Most modern wallets do this automatically using something called hierarchical, tough word to say, deterministic protocol. The Ellipal app doesn't seem to offer this at all. For a wallet marketed to beginners, this is teaching terrible privacy habits right from the start. Or more accurately, it's not even giving users the option to practice good privacy. And speaking of limited options, there's another major constraint I need to tell you about. This card only works with that application, the Ellipal app, like most other card-based wallets, except the Sato chip. You can't use this with Sparrow Wallet, Blue Wallet, Electrum Wallet, or any other Bitcoin software. The card communicates exclusively via NFC to the Ellipal mobile application, and there's no way to sign transactions created in other wallets with this card. This is complete vendor lock-in, and we've discussed it in other videos on this channel. You're entirely dependent on Ellipal's app for everything: transaction creation, fee estimation, address management, everything. And if you don't like how the Ellipal app handles anything, you're out of luck. And if there's a feature you need and the app doesn't have it, like proper coin control or UTXO management, you're out of options. If Ellipal decides to shut down the app or change their business model, you need to restore your seed to a different wallet altogether. At least you have that option. So to be fair, at least you do have your seed phrase, which is great. So you're not permanently locked into the Ellipal ecosystem. And you could always use another wallet if you wanted to, and not use this wallet for transactions. You can restore the seed to another wallet and just use that. But while you're actively using this Ellipal X card, you're completely stuck in their ecosystem. Basically, it's their app or nothing. And even within their app, there are some glaring feature gaps. What about Taproot support? Are you kidding me? I can't send a transaction to a Taproot address? Seriously? Taproot is Bitcoin's newest address format, but it was released in 2021, and it offers better privacy and lower fees at the same time. When I did the tour of the application, you saw that it allowed receiving to legacy addresses, SegWit addresses, and native SegWit addresses only. That's a significant limitation for a wallet released last year. And what about multi-sig? That's where you have a wallet that requires multiple signatures to send funds out of the wallet, which is incredibly important for organizations or anyone wanting to eliminate a single point of failure. I searched the app for multi-sig features, nothing. This is a single signature wallet only. So we're missing Taproot support and multi-sig capabilities. For advanced users, these are not nice-to-have features. They're fundamental. At this point, I started wondering whether any of these limitations might be fixed down the road. Could Ellipal add these features in a future firmware update? That's when I discovered something even more concerning. Now, this is an inherent limitation to all card-based hardware wallets. The X card and the starter cannot receive firmware updates. The hardware is permanently frozen in its current state. This is actually true for all card hardware wallets: Tangem, Arculus, Sato chip, and now Ellipal. The secure element chip architecture that makes these cards durable and tamper-resistant also makes them immutable. Whatever features they have today are the only features they will ever have. Whatever security measures are implemented right now are the only defenses they will ever have against future attack vectors. This is an intentional design trade-off. Card manufacturers argue that it eliminates supply chain attacks and prevents malicious firmware updates. And that's a fair point. You can't install compromised firmware on a device that can't be updated. But the flip side is serious. Technology evolves. Attack methods evolve. Bitcoin itself evolves with soft forks and new features. A wallet that can't be updated can't really adapt. To be fair, the phone app does receive updates. Ellipal can patch up vulnerabilities and add new token support. But remember the blind signing issue? You're still trusting the app to show you accurate information because your card has no way to verify it. Now, there's one more thing that's been bugging me since the beginning of this review. Remember that fully air-gapped claim? Let's talk about that. Ellipal on their website boldly states that this card is fully air-gapped. Not near air-gapped, not quasi-air-gapped. They claim it's fully air-gapped. But here's the problem. The card uses NFC communication protocol to communicate with your phone. NFC is a wireless protocol. Yes, it's short range. You have to tap the devices together, but it's still a wireless data connection. That's literally not air-gapped. True air-gapped wallets use QR codes or SD cards for one-way data transfer. They never establish a two-way wireless communication channel. That's what makes them air-gapped. There's physically no electronic connection between the signing device and the internet-connected device. An actual air gap. Is NFC a realistic attack vector? Probably not for most users. The data is also encrypted. You'd need close physical proximity, but it's technically a potential surface for sidechain attacks or protocol exploits. More importantly, calling this air-gapped is factually incorrect by the definition of what security researchers use. Ellipal is redefining the term to mean mostly offline, which isn't the same thing as truly air-gapped. And there's one more transparency issue I need to address. I tried to find the source code for the X Card's firmware. Ellipal's GitHub page has the code for their application, their mobile application, but not the card firmware itself. It's closed source, like a lot of card-based firmwares. So because of that, you can't verify what is actually happening in the firmware on the card. You have to trust Ellipal's implementation. The argument is simple. If the code is open, security researchers can audit it, find vulnerabilities, and verify that there are no backdoors. Closed source firmware requires trust, but Bitcoin is a trustless philosophy, so that's a contradiction. I also couldn't find any confirmation that they've had their firmware analyzed by any third-party security research firms, like the Tangem has done, to their credit. All right, so let's step back. We've covered blind signing, address reuse, vendor lock-in, missing features, no firmware updates, misleading air-gap claims, and closed-source firmware. That's a lot of issues. But does that mean this wallet is worthless? Not necessarily. Let me explain. The Ellipal X Card does a lot of things well. The form factor is really portable and fits right into your wallet, but other companies have been doing this for years, so it's not groundbreaking. The starter device for offline setup is a really neat concept, actually. I like that. I just wish it could be used in some way to verify transaction data before signing. The setup process itself is super simple. During the current sale and promotion, it's $59 for a single card setup and $99 for a 3-card setup. And at those prices, it's accessible even for beginners. For a crypto newcomer who just wants to get their coins off of an exchange without dealing with complicated software or setup, I can see the appeal. The CCEAL 6 Plus secure element chip inside the card is legitimate security hardware. Your seed phrase is protected by industry standard encryption. So for casual use cases, for storing hundreds or a few $1,000s worth of crypto, the Ellipal X Card is probably fine. It's certainly better than leaving funds on an exchange. But if you're holding significant funds, or you consider yourself beyond a beginner, or if you understand concepts like coin control and UTXO management, this wallet might have too many compromises. And the blind signing vulnerability isn't just theoretical, it's a real risk. Now, I have to say that Ellipal shares many of the same problems with other card-based hardware wallets. So to some extent, these problems are format-based rather than product-based. So what are some better alternatives to the Ellipal X Card? Well, if you have significant crypto holdings across multiple blockchains, I might consider a device like the OneKey Pro. I reviewed it recently on my channel, and it is gorgeous. It's a full-featured multi-chain open-source wallet with a familiar phone-style form factor that easily fits into your pocket or bag. It has a screen for verifying transactions, supports advanced features, and receives firmware updates. It's priced quite a bit higher than the X Card, but if you have significant holdings across multiple chains, maybe something to consider. There's a link down below. If you're dedicated to the smart card format for secure, compact mobile storage of your seed phrase, but still want fully air-gapped operation with verifiable transaction signing, then you might consider a seed signer device with a smart card hat paired with a Sato chip card. I'm not going to go into it here, but I did a video on that setup recently on the channel, so check it out. It's a really neat setup, and it solves all of these problems. The truth is that the Ellipal X Card tries to be user-friendly by removing complexity, but in the process it removes essential security features that serious users need. It's a compromised product, and unfortunately, for Bitcoin security, compromises could turn into regrets. In conclusion, so is the Ellipal X Card worth it? For me, no, I'm not a big fan. The blind signing issue, the address reuse privacy concerns, lack of firmware updates, and complete vendor lock-in, along with missing Taproot and multisig features, mean that I'm going to be giving this wallet a pass. But I recognize that some people, especially complete beginners, who want something very simple for holding just a small amount of cryptocurrencies, might find value in this product. If today's video helped you make a more informed decision, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Bitcoin and cryptocurrency videos and hardware wallet reviews. Drop a comment below, tell me what kind of wallet you're using, and whether security or convenience is more important for you in your daily life. I read every single comment, and your feedback shapes future content. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay safe, stay sovereign. I'll see you in the next video.